Well, I wanted to take some time now just to get you guys' thoughts on some of the opportunities and challenges organizations may face as they think about deploying AI to their workforce. Maybe I'll start with you, Greg. A question: what have been the biggest challenges you've seen clients of yours face when trying to deploy agentic AI use cases?
Yeah, no, thanks, Dave. And Marlon, love to hear that story. And I'm happy that Deloitte was able to play a small part in it. Um, so we've actually done some research on this, and we've looked at maturity of AI and Gen AI adoption, both for HR, but also at the enterprise level. And we've defined these four tiers of maturity. There's exploring, which is you're starting to talk about AI, but you're not really doing much yet. That's about 30% of the HR market that's in that category. Experimenting is level two, where you're starting to do some POCs. You might have activated some functionality that was pushed to you by your current HCM provider, ERP provider, but you haven't really made standalone investments in AI that have their own business case or ROI tied to it. That's about 40% of the market. So when you add those two up, that's 70% of the market that are in a level one or level two stage of maturity, at least as far as HR goes, although I think it's similar for other functions. The goal, though, almost universally, is to get to level three in this stage of scaling value through AI. About 20% of the market are there from an HR perspective. There is a tier above that called innovating, and I would say JCI Johnson Controls is on their way from level three to level four with their roadmap this year, which is really exciting. And agentic AI is really the next round of innovation. It's what defines level four in our world. That's 5 to 10% of the market, and it's mostly the tech providers that are making the AI that the rest of us are racing to adopt. So they had a little bit of a head start and maybe some extra incentive to figure it out. But what's more interesting than that, I think the levels of maturity are interesting, but what's more interesting is the underlying factors that separate high maturity organizations from low maturity organizations. It's not just about going out and buying technology. You have to have clear strategic focus and be really intentional with your investments. And I think that's where the work activity analysis for Johnson Controls came into play, because it gave a very specific frame to say we're doing too much of this type of work, and we have an opportunity to move that to AI, get more support from AI, and increase the amount of strategic and consultative work that we're doing. And that's going to help actually drive our business strategy forward. So that's the first thing. The second thing is data and data readiness. AI is just like any other technology before it, in the sense that garbage in and garbage out is still a problem, if not an amplified problem, right, with AI because of the way that it works. And so a lot of organizations that want to do something with AI are finding themselves having to take a step back to clean up their knowledge base, or to clean up their HR data, or to clean up their finance policies, whatever the input is that's required to create the desired output. So that's a big area. When we think about data readiness, we think about it in terms of quality. We think about it in terms of accessibility. Can you get to it? Because a lot of our large enterprise clients have data spread out across a bunch of different applications. And is it rich? Is it rich enough to go after some of the more complex or sophisticated use cases that you care about? So that's the second thing. The third is agile delivery. A lot of organizations took a half step toward agile with the movement to the cloud, but maybe haven't gone all the way. And I think what we see with AI as a technology is that it doesn't lend itself to traditional forms of delivery. It is by nature incremental. It is going to be something that you invest to continuously improve over time. You'll never be done. There is no finish line with an AI journey. And that's something that I think a lot of our clients are still struggling to embrace, and not just the agile mindset, but all the ways of working that go around it, and the capabilities that are required to actually enable you to operate differently. We talk about enterprise tools. AI is not this thing that you just go buy off the shelf. It's a bunch of different things coming together. I think back, Dave, to your conceptual architecture slide and showing all the different components that go into agentic AI. That's the reality of this, right? It's not one thing. It's a lot of different things coming together to be able to create these transformative results. And organizations have to get more and more comfortable with that. It means you're going to be using your HR tools, your IT tools, your finance tools, but also combining that with enterprise tools, understanding what's available in the market, supplementing where it makes sense. And the shelf life of any tech strategy is going to be pretty short given the pace of change right now. So being able to sense and research and revisit the decisions over time to make sure you're bringing the best technical capabilities together is going to be huge. Governance, totally required. And there's kind of two sides to governance. It's the monitoring, the policies, the guardrails. They're going to encourage safe, responsible usage of AI tools, limit the amount of risk or potential for negative outcomes that are possible. But it's also the other side of governance, which is being able to capture and articulate the value that you're creating through your AI investments and your AI portfolio so that you can go and make smarter investments in the future. You know what works and what works well, and you're able to kind of share that with decision makers across the organization to improve overall performance. And then the last piece, which I think is maybe the piece that we're just at the very beginning of, is true workforce enablement. So if you think about agentic AI and this idea that AI is going to be able to take on a lot of traditional forms of work and take that off of our plates over time. It's not going to happen overnight. It'll take some time, but there's a key dependency to that happening, which is people have to use the tools. They have to adopt. They have to engage. And we've found that people are struggling to adopt or engage with AI if they don't have the right level of fluency and the right level of trust in this technology and in the organization's intent in investing in this technology. And so there's a lot of factors in play here, but I think those are all some barriers that we're seeing clients wrestle with. And when we think about a comprehensive AI roadmap, it really has to touch on all of those things in order to get to those higher stages of maturity.